I'm saying, the European cars a lot of times feel more solid. Then in terms of features, they have a lot of modern tech. Let's take matrix headlights, for example. Audi started the trend some years back, and now almost all the big brands, even some of the tier 2 brands now have matrix headlights, right? Okay, so they are a kind of LED headlights that is very, very intelligent and the headlight can actually write things on a surface. Okay, when you are driving, immediately the car senses another car is coming, it can block some of the pixels out so that it don't blind the oncoming drivers. A whole lot of things. But the Americans can't have it because they have not legislated it. In Europe, you can buy cars with cameras for side mirrors, but you can't have it in America because it's not legislated. You get what I'm saying?
So now this is a question I throw to you. So if somebody brings in a home used car, right, from Europe, that's also in a very bad way. Okay, from what we are saying, for me like this, the argument is not only for US, even though they have dominated the home use market. You're not.
The thing is that I see that in Ghana right now we have the workflow. A lot of people haven't even traveled outside the airport of Ghana before, but then yes, because I mean, all Copart and I, they all reach out to Ghana. They come and do even programs and things here. And people are here who have built a workflow. They've not traveled before, but they're able to import cars upon cars, hundreds of cars every year and sell. You get it? So they have made it easy. Probably in Europe, they just don't care because they don't see that there is business there. They are making business in other places. It's just what it is. Yeah. Okay. So, But I think that for us, we have to be sensitive, especially, I mean, my point now is that the gap between brand new cars, because of the assembling, the gap between brand new cars and used cars, home used cars, have become very, very close. So if you are shopping, you just have to be, how do you call it?
So just do your research.
Because if, let's say, a brand new Picanto is going for, let's say it's going for 18,000 USD, right? That works out to about 200K.
And the dollar, so let's just say it's 10 cities.
Yeah.
If it's 10 cities, that's like 180,000.
180,000. Okay. On the used market, 180,000 will buy you maybe an Elantra, maybe 2019 or 2020.
No, wait.
No, you can't buy.
You can't buy because the last time
I asked, 2016.
The last time I asked, believe it or not, maybe you didn't know this. Believe it or not, a 2011 Corolla is going for 200K.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So let's say yes. Yes. So will you buy a 200K
2011
Corolla or a 2024 Picanto?
Nice to you guys. You see, I think that's how we should have tackled it from the beginning. Yes, that's it. So you see, like what I was trying to say, maybe I want a Cerato, or let's say I want a saloon car. Okay, now and I have, let's say, 20K. I think a 20K, I think 20,000 should be able to get me a Rio. That is the you guys have read. There's a new name for it. The Rio Pegas.
Yes, Pegas.
That could get me. I don't know how much the Pegas costs, a brand new Pegas. But let's say 20K.
Brand new Pegas is less than 20K.
It's less than 20K. So maybe I could get a Pegas, right? But I want something bigger, like a Cerato or something bigger.
Then again, another point, okay, is that I mean, back in the day, VW Beetle, right? And you have a family of 5, you squeeze into it because it was necessity.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I think that if you are shopping in that market. I mean, even if you are shopping for Civic, it still is necessity. In my mind, it's still necessity.
Yes. But then
you are not buying car because of luxury. Otherwise, you would have bought a 7-seater. You have bought a 7-seater.
You'd have bought a Mercedes.
But you see,
GLS. That's the point. I think that's what the home use people used to get people, because it's like, yes, you are trying to buy something out of necessity. A car, as I said earlier, a car is a necessity, not a luxury. But then again, you want to buy something you will feel happy in. No, so I want to drive. I think that a lot of times car. I know someone who doesn't like small cars.
Thank you. The way you
the person no matter who talk pican to match any pan or your bar, who touch now on pay.
I know that a lot of lady folks like big cars.
Yes,
because it makes them feel superior on the road. It makes them feel yes, but I think that if you are not buying because of the size, hey, what's happening outside? If you are not buying because I was trying to get somebody to consider a particular car, and the person tried to sit in the car, and straight away we realized that that's not the car for the person.
Yeah.
Okay. So some people, because of physical properties, they are just, some cars are just not made for them.
Yes.
That's
very rare.
That is very rare. But for majority of Ghanaians, a car any day.
So you understand where the whole thing is going to?
Yeah, Ghana is for the flex.
Yes. Now, so you see,
but I'm trying to get the market that look.
Buy what you need.
Not what you want.
Because if, as you are saying,
when you get to that level,
17,000.
When you get to that level where you are buying a car for flex, right?
Yes.
Nobody will tell you. Buying a car will not be something that you worry your brain about. Can't buy be siho.
But to think of it, 200K was okay. When I heard it to me, I thought at that time when the person told me the price, I was like, no, this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. Which means if you are buying, say, a 2017 model of the same car, it will be more than 200,000.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how much a new Corolla is.
Right now, they passed the 200,000 mark. I'm sure.
New Corolla.
Yeah, new Corolla.
I need to be in dollars now.
New Corolla. Yeah. So if you convert her, yeah.
If it is, let's say 20, let's say 30. I'm sure a new Corolla.
Yeah, we have GG here. Where is GG?
A new Corolla will go for like 30,000.
Let me put GG on the screen.
And let's look for a new Corolla.
So maybe probably you can.
So talking and so you see now to me the conversation is getting really interesting and lively because now a lot of factors come in.
Yeah.
As you are saying, unless we want to say everybody, buy a brand new car but go for the very small ones. And someone will tell you that the small ones are a good idea and it's brand new. As you said, brand new. Me, I've driven brand new cars before, Charlie. Brand new cars are nice to drive. I don't lie to you. And you see, it's easy for you to track the maintenance. It's easy for you to get to know the car. You see, it's actually a very good thing to buy a brand new car. Everything becomes easy. The only thing that becomes hard will be how much you have to pay initially. And once you pay that, everything else becomes easy. Okay. But to tell somebody that, okay, let's say the person has a family of, they are 5, so 3 children, and they're saying out of necessity, like squeeze yourself at the back. You see, God, I don't know how to explain. You can't, what she said earlier, Ghanaians are so moved by people's opinions. It's very hard. See, somebody will go and buy a home used, what's it called, RAV4. Or the pass car we because because the car is big, you get it. Yeah. The car probably meets the person's needs. We put a lot of things inside. We travel a lot. Traveling with a small car, I feel it's not safe. I want a saloon car, and even a saloon car crap on Pegas the Anubio or a friend is saying Serato or Optima or those ones, you understand, Civic, Accord, even with the Elantra crap, or Elantra, or Santa Fe, like you understand what I'm trying to say, or big cars, and those ones, the truth of the matter is that those ones are very expensive. They are not cheap. Even with the home use ones, those ones are not cheap. They are very expensive. Okay, so if the person compares, let's say,
so I have it on now.
Okay, so how much is it?
Corolla.
What year model?
Okay, so now Corolla. I type Corolla and I'm seeing bits and all those other.
They are all Toyotas.
Yeah.
In here. So you see, as I was saying, like those cars. If I'm looking at those cars, like
so here there is a 2016. And it's 170K. 175. Yeah, 165. Yeah.
So is it Ghana used?
There's a 2012 for 132,000.
Is it Ghana used or home used? Let's check.
Home used. There's a Ghana used here for 170,000. A Ghana used Corolla 2015.
That is another problem with these cars.
2022
their prices don't make sense. Now, as you are saying, I had someone in the United States. Okay,
there's a 2017 here for 200,000.
They say I called a friend. 2011 was it 200,000?
Oh yes,
2011. No, not 2017. 11. Home used 200K.
2021 230,000. 230,000. Convert it into dollars. That can buy a lot of brand new cars in Ghana.
A lot of brand new, maybe small cars. You see, let's look at it.
Corolla is a big car.
Corolla is bigger than what's it called?
Corolla is bigger than what?
Picanto.
No, but you can get.
But Corolla is bigger than Picanto.
But you can get a car that is almost a size. How much Sonnet starting price is saying? And even that price an SUV. That's a crossover SUV.
You're talking about brand new.
Brand new.
I don't know how much is it.
You could have that 20 and henna. You could have over 200,000. You are close.
Now that is where the sellers will also start bringing things like, okay, yeah, we all know Toyota Corolla is a good car, but this one it has Apple Play. This one it has this. This one, the engine.
Then step up. Then step up.
Being honest with you. No. They'll just tell you that the engine is two
Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Do you know how much that costs to add to your car? Do you know how much that costs to add to your car?
How much?
Less than $200. You can get a standalone Apple CarPlay Android Auto. Less than $200.
But you see, that's the thing. But this one is coming. When the people are selling, I'm talking from the point of view of your motor.
Car sanya Apple CarPlay Android Auto.
Share. And the features, all the features I'm telling you, it's when you see the car is looking nice. Charlie, almost all lights, and I said on wire lights, the aesthetics, Charlie, now we cry with you, show. I say, oh, car radio. And you know, for most of the cars they sell brand new, not all of them, but for most of them, you realize that if you want the one that you can afford, if it's not full spec, most of them to be the retractable key, you have to start manually.
Now, what's wrong with starting your car manually? No, but you see,
like it's the thing, it's these little things.
No, but you see, yes, I believe in the little things.
Yes, this little, and you realize that even in the car manufacturers,
I believe in
these little things they actually work on. This year, it was like this. Next year, that's the. Thank you. I've just used the word.
I believe
they're gaming.
I believe,
and that's
in
what the home use sellers are doing.
I believe in features, right? But you have to look at features that will add value to your life. Okay. Now, when this push to start was coming, at that time, I had a 2005 BMW 116i that I swapped a straight 6 into. But at that time, that car had push to start. Okay.
Yes.
20 this Elantra, the popular Elantra that started with the push to start.
I think,
and this woman had a very, very good Toyota Corolla, which was also around the same year model as the Elantra. But the woman went to trade it in and added money for Elantra with push to start.
And you are telling me that those things are not important to them? No,
listen
to them.
No, listen. It's because that the person is not informed. The person is not informed. Do you understand? The person is not informed. I mean, I will say that as much as possible. I mean, yesterday I found myself having this conversation with them that if you want to buy this car, it's a great car. Push and buy the top model because when you have more features, your resale value is higher. Okay, because whatever car you buy, or China, you have more money. You want to buy a better one. You want to get as much money back as possible.
Exactly.
So you buy one. I mean, I always tell my people that look, when you are bringing the cars, bring the ones with as much as possible features. And God being so good, now the models have.
Because the truth of
even the base models have, but there are some features that don't actually add value
the truth
to
of the matter is that let's face
it's just for eye candy. And one of them is push to start. Especially, do you know that there are some cars that have push button start? Okay, but they don't have keyless entry.
Yes.
If you can't know any keyless entry, will push to start button. Then what's the essence? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you still have to press
to enter.
Okay, if it keyless entry just a key initial button, you don't have to take it out. Will be now.
Yeah,
fine. Then unlock it. Fine. Do you understand? But if the car does not have keyless entry, but there is push to start, a scam. A scam.
A scam. Because now we are talking about it, or somebody can even sit somewhere, be watching the show and say that a scam because it is maybe to you it's a scam. Do you get it? But Nipa will say, Charlie, I'm fair. Because see, my guy, even let me even give you a more funny feature. Are you ready? Wood light.
Yeah.
To somebody here. Or come na mood light or more.
No, I don't have a problem with mood lights.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have you buying car which is not keyless entry but has push to start. Where my issue is that you are forgoing a better car, a car that will add value to your life, a car that will help you save money. Okay?
Because everything is new, everything is cool,
yes,
efficiency wise.
Exactly.
See,
okay,
brand new car
just for a feature that is I can remember when I was saying.
I asked someone from outside the country, okay. She bought a Sportage. I think it was a 2015 model. Yeah. This thing I'm talking about was somewhere around 2021.
Yeah.
It was like a 2015 model and she was bringing it in, okay. And at the port, the only thing that was wrong with the car was the right side fender, the front side fender. So she just put the new fender in, and I think there was some just very minor issues here and there. And she brought it in. The truth of the matter is that the urban auto camera brochure, was coming kakra. So the price she could have gotten it, which would have been cheaper, she didn't get it like that. Exactly. No problem. She paid for it. She brought it in. The clearing agent here too, thanks be to God, he was a bit truthful. So by the time we fixed the car, we cleared the car, we bought the car, we shipped the car, we got the car on the road like we could drive the car and enjoy the car. It was just around, at that time, a little around 120,000 Ghana cedi. Now, like what you're saying, unfortunately, that is how much you're selling the car. So if she wants to sell that car, in fact, she wanted to sell that car, you understand?
I do.
So somebody will be like, okay, you know what? Fine. Then I'll bring a car that fixing and everything would be, let's say, 90,000. So if I sell it for the 120,000, we 30,000 be one. So it's a thing with, I think Ghana here, the laws governing these things, I don't think they are good enough.
In fact, talking about that, also in rounding up, like I was saying, these salvage cars, even in their home markets, they are consumed a lot. But in those places, when you buy a salvage car and you fix it, there is a special office of the DVLA, and their job is to make sure that what you've done is right. So they will look at, as you are fixing the car, you have to document, you have to take pictures. Your parts list, everything you have to document. And when you go, there is a technician, you go, you show him all the documents. You look at the pictures, you look at how the car was, airbag, the one you bought to replace it, how you replaced it, and everything, and they will go over after that. They will go over and check everything before the car will be certified. Yes. Although it will still be branded as a salvage car. And even the salvage car, you will move different levels.
Your levels.
They actually have a certain level that you cannot put the car back on the road.
Exactly.
You have to sell it for parts.
Yes, you scrap it.
So all those things are there. This conversation has been...
So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed every video I've uploaded concerning the topics we discussed. My name is Salom. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button, like the video, share with your friends, go over to Ryde channel, like the videos from there, subscribe to their channel, watch out for more of these content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.